This is a concise video on how to wire a Bazooka powered subwoofer, and here's a list of the materials you're going to need if you are installing it in a car similar to mine, which will be which is going to be discussed very in depth throughout this video.
Hi everybody, this is a little mini walkthrough on how to install a Bazooka sub. I have the 10250D series of the Bazooka sub, which is the 250 watt powered Bazooka tube. And a little info about the car: I have an aftermarket stereo as well as aftermarket side door speakers. I have, all four of them are installed. However, the tweeters are not changed yet. I need to purchase some new ones, but that's besides the point. The Pioneer deck that I have is the DEH 4300 UB, so just keep that in mind. And it has the two RCA outputs on the back. And then I've got the Pioneer, also Pioneer TS I want to say it's a 1674 speakers. I'm not sure about that. If I need to, I'll make a correction on that in the video. And I have those installed on all four, and the Bazooka sub's installed in the back. So I'm gonna do a really quick walkthrough. Basically, what you're gonna need like 5 cords. You're gonna need obviously a power, which is gonna run from your battery through your firewall, underneath the side door to the back where the sub is. You're also gonna need RCA, which is gonna go from your head unit, also underneath back to the sub. Then you're gonna need a remote wire, which is gonna go in my car from that bottom left panel right there, which I will get to shortly. And it's also gonna go back to the sub. And then the fifth, which is the easiest one, is your ground, and it's included. And I'll show you where it is on my car. And it's very easy to do. This whole setup took me about 6 hours to do, and that was with no experience. And so I try to make sure everything was really clean. But first, I'll show you the power, because that's the hardest one to do in my opinion, because you have to go through the fire. Basically, just to walk you through, I cut this notch with my razor blade to put the power for the sub, which is right here. This is the fuse that's included, and it goes through, and I put this little black coating over the outside to just make it look nice and neat and protected. And it goes through here, goes underneath. I have it zip tied throughout underneath, goes behind there, goes behind the cold air intake, and then I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's hope you can. I don't know. There's multicolor factory, and then beside that is the little pre-existing mount where I cut a little hole with some razor blade to put that in there. So, but basically that ends up on the other side, right there. There you go. The red wire, I cut that through with a razor blade. Nice and easy. Goes goes underneath the carpet, travels over here, and then goes underneath the door where it goes back. So this part pops off. I already took it off just for ease. So does this. So basically, that's the remote wire. I use the same color, so I'll just do the power first. The power goes through here, goes underneath, goes through underneath the middle part, goes through the back, underneath this part, goes through here. If you pull this little tab right here, this pops off, no problem. And then it goes back through there where all your connections are going to be hanging. Just a little note: whenever you're trying to take off this middle part, which is where I have all my excess wire and stuff zip tied and held and then pushed back, you have to take off both the front and the back parts on the bottom to get it to go through. So yeah, that's basically the power, and it's going to go through here. It's going to connect to the upper portion right there, which is where you have your settings. I have all the wires back here. I'm going to do the remote and then the RCA in that order. The remote is also, oops, dropped my phone. The remote goes from, let's see, that's where I have it soldered, sorry. The remote goes from here, this bundle, goes underneath where I have it soldered, goes through here. All these wires take the same path underneath and, through here, just like that. This is factory. These are the two. This is both the remote and power, and then the RCA is this silvery kind of. Okay, so this is the silver RCA, and then the remote wire is right here, and it taps into. I don't know if you can read that or not. Let's see if I can make it so you can. Right here. Come on. No, doesn't want to go. got it to go earlier. It's labeled number 9 on the bottom right, the very bottom right connectors. Okay, there we go. So it's number 9, which is that kind of grayish one, and it's very small, so just be careful whenever you're soldering that, because whenever you're stripping it, it's going to be really hard to get it to strip cleanly, and then also, you know, actually do itself. So just keep that in mind. If you mess that up, I don't really know how you fix that. So that's a remote wire. The RCA just goes, you know, as I said a second ago, it was the silver one. It goes underneath the carpet right here, goes through here. I'm sorry, it goes, let's see, where does it go? It goes up, sorry, here it is. It goes up through the carpet, okay, and then it goes through here, and then I've got it wired up. I don't know if you can see or not, but it's got a zip tie, and it goes up through here, and then, let me give you some direction here. So this is, you know, there's the pedals, and then, oh, this is completely magnified, that's probably why. So anyway, go back, RCA goes through here, zip tied up there, follows up and around, and then it goes up behind, and it connects to the back of the, you pretty much just kind of loop it up, and it connects to the back of the head unit. And in my car, you remove the head unit by just using some little flathead screwdriver with like some electrical tape to not scratch it. This just pops off, this entire upper receiver. Just make sure to like undo this knob right here, because it makes it a lot easier to actually remove this section. And this this gets pulled off. It has four bolts which you undo right here, and here. Pull it out, plug in the 2 RCA, and you're good to go. And that's pretty much how you wire it. Just know that you have to have everything connected, including the remote wire, to test it. We tried to first test it without the remote wire, and it didn't work for obvious reasons, and we got a little freaked out there for a second, so there's no need to freak out if that's the case. My general review of the Bazooka Sub, I think it's really great. I have a smaller car, as you've probably figured out by now, and it fills it very, very well. I don't know if you have a big car, if it'd be powerful enough, but for mine, it's exactly what I needed, and it's not too much bass. So I definitely recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if anybody else requests any videos or anything, feel free to send me a message or whatever, and I'll try and get back to you as quickly as I can. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope it was some help. I know I didn't exactly do an exact walkthrough, but that would take forever to do. So hopefully this gives you an idea of where the wires go and how to solder, and then where to go through the firewall and all of those things. So please comment and all that good stuff. So thank you.
And here is just the sub placed in the back of my car, just the relative position and everything. How I mounted it is I actually just screwed in the given mounts into the plastic that attaches to the bottom of the car, and then I just cut holes in the mat and then fed the straps through that way. So it looks pretty good that way.